KSYM San Antonio College Radio. I am Bulldog. I am joined here by Joelton Mayfield. Joelton, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so we are here to talk about your debut album, which came out in October of 2025.
That's right.
It says here in my notes that it took about a decade's worth of work. Can you speak on the creative process behind all of that?
Yeah. So we made this album in 2021. It was kind of right before vaccines were readily available, and I knew that I wanted to do the album live. And my friend had a farm with a huge finished barn in it down in Fairhope, Alabama, and I was kind of talking to her about this, and she offered the space, and so we all got tested a few times and then caravanned down to Fairhope, Alabama, and made this record in a barn over the course of about a month. It was a really special time and a really special reprieve from the pandemic, and yeah, and then it took a long time to finish. I went through some like kind of personal heartbreak and stuff like that, but took a long time to finish because of that. Even though we recorded it mostly live, I guess just the last 10% took a long time to finish, and then just kind of took a long time looking for a home for it. But as far as like a decade, like these songs, I guess, have been around since like 2016, 2017.
Oh, wow.
You know, kind of before some of them. Some of them I finished right before we recorded. So, yeah, they were just, you know, the album's called Crowd Pleasers, which I felt was kind of an appropriate title based on like it kind of being kind of a mixtape of my best work from like college and stuff. So, yeah, I guess in that sense, it did take nearly a decade to make the whole thing. But.
Yeah. You know, that's one of the things I love about music is how you can really just take any experience that you've had in your life, good, bad, ugly, and put it down pen to paper and create something beautiful. And that's exactly what you did. You turned heartbreak into music, and honestly, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about it. I wish I could do something like that. I know we were talking about it before the break here, but man, that is absolutely amazing, man. So your music is described as an ability, well, you have an ability to blend Gen Z musical sensibilities with traditional Southern Gothic storytelling. How did you come about creating your style?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I kind of grew up on, you know, church music and Southern gospel and stuff like that. But my grandma was kind of always playing, you know, George Jones or Charlie Pride or George Strait or Dolly Parton or you know, you name it, whenever I'd go over to her house. So that was kind of my first exposure to any music that wasn't explicitly about God, and that kind of opened my mind. And then I had a big like blues phase, and then I guess just kind of went down a lot of rock rabbit holes after that, and got obsessed with more like you know, like krautrock and
Yeah.
indie rock and punk rock and stuff like that. So, but as far as like a songwriter, I think I'd like to kind of stay in the more storytelling mode, or the more narrative driven space, just of writing what I know. But as you know, like a band leader and an arranger, and from a production standpoint, I like to complicate the form a little bit. You know?
Yeah. No, dude, I totally get that. Me personally, I'm a big fan of music that tells a story. You know, something that is purpose driven. And going back to you talking about the different styles that you grew up listening to, and you sort of incorporated that into it. Like, I think that's incredible how, especially nowadays, you can really just mix a bunch of sounds together, and it's not just one specific set genre. You know, do you have any specific sound that you like more than the other, or is there any sort of like thing that you prefer to put in your music, or how does that work?
I listen to everything. I'm a big fan of just music. I'm a student of music, and so yeah, I don't really. My music gets referred to as alt country. It gets referred to as Americana. It gets referred to as folk, and all of those things are true. But it's also rock music.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm from small town Texas, so I definitely sing with a bit of a drawl, and that won't leave me, and I don't want it to. So I'm grateful for like the Americana community. It's a very supportive community, and but yeah, like it's rock music too.
Yeah.
So I rarely think about genre, I guess is the short answer.
That's fantastic. All right, well, it looks like we are going to have a live performance right here, right now. So let's just go ahead and get started.
Yeah. This is a song called Red Beam. It's the first song off the album, which on the album it's kind of more of a droney, noisy track. But I'm out here doing some solo acoustic dates, opening for Shovels and Ropes. So I'm going to play it for you. A little more freewheeling cosplay style. So here it goes. In the red beam barreling through the window, I imagine a lake of fire. Try to picture a picture of Cuyahoga with 7 billion bodies floating by. But all I see is sunrise. Jump scare, buddy, roll over. Who convinced you he's getting out alive? Selling prescriptions you can get over the counter, with a sparkle in his tooth and sequoias in his eyes. Waiting on some famous call from home that's coming in anytime. Maybe the kids upstairs will find the right note to sing, and the heaven we deserve will show up to prove me wrong. But till then I'll pretend God's children never grow up, waking every morning at the end of my road. In the red beam barreling through the window, I imagine what it's like to survive when everyone you've ever loved is either damned or booked up, born again or buried alive. In the red beam burning through the sky. Maybe the kids upstairs will find the right note to sing, and the heaven we deserve will show up to prove me wrong. But till then, I'll pretend God's children never grow up. Waking every morning at the end of my road. When I wake up before my alarm clock, I know I'm not ready to die. Heaven's indignation, bleach blurs to yellow, and I watch the red beam settle, any homecoming surprise. Catch my breath and close the blinds.
Absolutely amazing. All right, we are going to have a quick break here. During the next break, we will continue the interview with Joelton Mayfield, and we will have another live performance. Stay tuned to KSYM, San Antonio College Radio. KSYM, San Antonio College Radio. We are back with Mr. Joelton Mayfield, who just blessed our ears with a wonderful performance. Joelton, I wanted to talk about some of your shows that you've had recently. It says here on April 19th, you performed at Twangville Sunday Social over in Dallas and Pootie's Roadhouse in Spicewood on April 25th. You also have a show tonight at Sam's Burger Joint here in San Antonio. How's that been? How's it been driving around playing your shows at all these places?
It's been good. I love touring. It's probably my favorite part of getting to make music.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's okay.
That's me. But yeah. I played in Central Texas this weekend, and tonight I'm really looking forward to playing at Sam's Burger Joint in San Antonio, opening for Shovels and Rope. I was watching the Spurs game with my dad last night. And that was a lot of fun. So,
you big Spurs fan?
I'm a big baseball guy, but I definitely grew up watching the Spurs, because I'm from Granite Shoals, but which is just the other side of Marble Falls, right in the hill country. But yeah, I mean, I grew up on like Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Ginobili era, so that was a really fun game to watch last night.
Yeah, man. So who would you say is your baseball team?
I'm an Astros fan.
Okay.
So I grew up going to Minute Maid Park.
Myself, I'm a Cubs fan. So
nice.
Former interdivision rivals there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and you're a busy man. You're going to be going to Baton Rouge tomorrow, April 30th at Chelsea's Live, and then to Decatur, Alabama. Man, you're a busy guy out there.
Yeah. All these dates with Shovels and Rope. Really grateful to them for having me aboard.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to tonight at Sam's Burger Joint. I go on at 7:30 tonight. Doors open at 7. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. What would you say is your favorite part of touring?
Probably the 30 to 45 minutes a day that I actually get to play music.
Yeah.
I guess the rest of the time it's just a lot of driving and unloading and reloading and trying to make sure your car doesn't get broken into and trying to find a good place to use a bathroom.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another song coming up right now.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
This is a song called The Shore. It's also from my debut album, Crowd Pleaser, which came out last year. This is the second single and second track from the album.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out here. Before we have you leave, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Speechwriter, the song on on your debut album.
Yeah. That's the first single. It's the first song that we put out from the record. It's a song about I guess loneliness and alienation and kind of the shared experience of being alienated and being isolated by the various facts and figures and forces in our lives that tend to convince us that we are alone. So each verse of that song, speechwriter, each verse of that song kind of chooses a different oracle to relay that message, and then the chorus kind of brings it all back together by reminding that it's sort of a shared experience to be lonely.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. I really appreciate you coming out here. Joelton Mayfield, once again, live. He will be tonight at the, which one was it again?
Sam's
Burger Joint. He will be there tonight and then tomorrow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for coming out here, Joelton.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
That was Joelton Mayfield. Speaking of Joelton, we have speech writer by yours truly, Joelton Mayfield, coming up next here on KSYM.